Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending today. My name is Charles Owen from Paladin, and we'll be going through the virtual Wallace user meeting, spring 2020. So as everybody knows, the Wallace market was canceled this year due to the COVID, and so we are doing this virtually. So it sounds like everybody can hear me and see me okay, and you should be seeing the first screen slideshow here of the slideshow. All right, great. So again, I'm Charles Owen with Paladin, and this presentation is really going to be on covering the new releases and the new features that are in Paladin. So you can see what you'll learn here on the screen. New release, winter 2019-2020 release guide. So I'll show you how to get to that guide. And also, this webinar will also be recorded for future broadcasting as well. So we'll cover this towards the end of this. I'll show you how to get a hold of that and be able to present this to your other store members if you wish to. We're going to talk about some of the new integrations with Pointy Sage, QuickBooks, Point of Rental, Deputy Easy Add, as well as what I like, the new features and updates, which we'll get into. And then, of course, we'll have a special notice about the reminder of Microsoft 7 end of life. All right, so let's jump into it. I'm hoping this presentation won't take longer than 20-25 minutes. And like I said, if you get interrupted or need to step away to help a customer, this will be recorded for future broadcasting. So to get to the winter release, you can go to our help file, so at portal.paladinpos.com, or click on the help button at the top of the screen on your Paladin application. And then you just need to go down to search, and there's a button there that says new features on the left menu. Just click on that, and it'll take you right to the guide. And it shows you a little bit more detail that I'm going to be providing you today. And it's a great reference for reminding you what is actually in this update. First thing I want to mention is the support. We've added chat support. So now under the help menu as well in the Paladin application, you can click on chat and you can start chatting right away and get a response from one of our techs. This is for simple things that you don't necessarily want to, start in a full page dialogue with, but any of those simple questions that you have, we'd be glad to help you in chat. And if we deem that it's too complicated, or we're gonna go ahead and reach out to you and call you. So the new integrations. I don't know if anybody has seen these, but there's some pretty significant integrations that we have in the system today to really augment the services that you can provide to your customers and also to you, and other ways to drive people into your store. Pointy is one of those. Pointy is an application that enables you to broadcast and push your items indirectly through Google searches. So if somebody searches for a hammer and they're in your local vicinity, you will pop up on that search review saying, yes, we have hammers, here they are. And it really will help drive people to your store. It also features your products and your pricing, as well as positions your store to push your products to the top of that search bar. So it's a great solution. We have this running in several stores. It is truly a benefit to driving people to your store, and it helps you really compete with those big box stores. The next one is the Sage 50 Cloud. This is a financial general ledger package and accounts payable solution, and it's really a great cloud-based system. We integrate with this 100%. So at the end of the day, all the information, the roll-up information, goes directly into Sage 50 Cloud. And then in addition to that, we've added another feature, what will now enable your closed invoices or POs on Paladin to show up in real time over in the payable system of Sage 50 Cloud. So that's another added feature that we added. And the new QuickBooks integration also incorporates what I just mentioned about pushing over closed POs in Paladin as a payable invoice. on QuickBooks. Now, this is for QuickBooks Online, right? So you've got, and everybody's familiar with the on-premise version. This is a cloud-based version of the QuickBooks, and the on-premise version requires a third-party solution or product called Signage to integrate with. We, for QuickBooks Online, we've got an API, and they have an API, and we hook the two together, and now we just go direct. So now you have direct integration between QuickBooks and Paladin without going through a third party. So that could save you money, could save you time, and it's certainly something that you should investigate. Continuing on, make your store the rental destination. So we've proven, I mean, it's been proven time and time again that rental is a huge industry that's going to and can increase your profits tremendously. So it can give you more opportunity to sell more, as well as increase your rentals. We don't believe, what we believe in is that you should go with the best of breed solution for this. So we're pushing point of rental, and we've integrated with point of rental. So all the rental stuff goes on in the point of rental at the rental desk, but when it's time to take the money, all that information gets pushed over to Paladin. So it's very easy to, we've integrated the two of these things, and it makes it easy to retrieve the invoices off of either system. Continuing on with the time clock and employee scheduling, this has been requested a lot of times. You may already be using this. This is also out there in a lot of stores. But besides just the time clock, this also integrates you can see here your data from Paladin, and it graphs forecasted sales so it can optimize your scheduling. So you can know what times do you get the biggest amount of people coming in to your store. So this can map to that, and it will actually generate, and I've seen this, it's pretty cool. It'll generate an employee schedule for you based on their availability, based on their roles in the store, and it's really a tremendous opportunity. So I would take a look at that. And the digital signage, the last one here is Easy Add, and this one is a mobile app. Very simple. It just pushes all your products and sales to this mobile app, synchronizes your POS data, and displays the products in your store that are on sale or just products that you want to push. And it pushes this up on a monitor, and it also enables the customers to be able to, and customers and store managers and employees as well, to get price, not only price comparisons, but prices of the products in your store. It really helps collect customer information as well, as you can see here, and does a great job of bringing together the virtual world with your in-store experience. All right, on to new features and updates. Now this is chock full of a lot of different things. I'm very excited about all of these things that are in here, because these are things that customers ask for, and we honor by putting in the system. And you can see the first one is sell by weight. So those of you who have are selling things like bulk nails or bulk bolts and nuts and fasteners by weight, you now have a solution for this. So this is completely integrated with the Paladin system. So when you put something on the scale, you actually see it. There is a webinar on this subject, and for that matter, there's a webinar on most of the things that I'm talking about today. All these slides where you see the little film up in the top right-hand corner, there's just a little sliver of film. That means that there is a full webinar on this particular topic. So that is there. It is under our webinar section of our portal.paladinpos.com website. These two scales, one is supposed to be, the bottom one goes into the desk and lays flat on the surface, so you can just push things through there. It has a built-in scanner. The other one is just simply a scale. We've also opened up BOGOs, buy one, get one free. So this is under the advanced section of pricing plans. So if you're interested in doing that, there's also a webinar specifically on this topic, and there's great supportive material and knowledge base as well on how to set these up. It was actually designed by our developers to be a wizard, so it walks you through the process. So it should be a lot easier to set up BOGO pricing plans than it was in the past. Email statements now include charges itemized by project. This is a wonderful feature for all of your contractors and folks out there that, especially property managers, when they want to separate out their apartment buildings. You can set up different projects or jobs, and on the statement, when you produce a statement, if you're emailing those statements, it will also email a breakdown of those jobs in an Excel document, giving you the subtotals and the total. This is really a huge advantage for those contractors and folks that want to break up their invoices based on project. Now, if you just print this out, it's not going to print when you print your statements, but it's very simple to go into the customer's record and hit print statements, and it produces this, and at that point you can either email or print it out for your customer. So it is possible to get this document for those ones that you're mailing, but it's just an extra step. We didn't want to burden the envelope with a lot of weight because you're already spending lots of money on the ink, the stamp, the envelope, the help, and everything else. So comparative revenue report. So a lot of folks have asked for this revenue report to be tied to specific departments. Now, everybody knows you can do a range of departments, a range of classes, a range of subclasses, a range of location codes, and so on and so forth. But this really enables you to get in there and specify specific departments and group them together. So you can group Department 10 with Department 49 with Department 108 and see all of those grouped together when you generate your comparative revenue report. Now, to do this, you just go into your department setup under setup departments, and you add the group that you want to each one of the departments that you're looking for. So if you wanted to create a group called Group 5, you just put the number 5 next to all the different departments that you want to group in that same group. And then when you generate your revenue report, make sure you click on Generate to Excel, because that's the only time you're going to see this. You won't see it on the PDF, you'll see it on the Excel document. But it's a tremendous advantage for those who want to group different departments together. Another thing that we added recently is the auto printing of yard orders. So the yard orders, as you know, must be printed at the time of the purchase. Now, if you forget to produce a yard ticket and you have yard items in your invoice, it will prompt the cashier now. You've probably seen this because it's been out for a little bit. So if you have the auto print option is turned off, meaning not selected, the cashier will be prompted with, do you want to print a yard order? Because there are items in that invoice that are contained in the yard. So this can be automatically printed, and the yard orders can be printed either at checkout or they can be printed at the on the dock as well, or at the pick station. Next is serialization. So we have added the tracking of serial numbers, and we've done a really good job of making it serial numbers required at the point of entry when you receive those items, and at the point of sale where you sell those items. So it is required if you select the serial box, the serial number checkbox, which is on the General tab, it will now require that you put in a serial number for every item that when you receive it, and then also choose from a drop-down when you sell it. There is a webinar specifically on this topic. I'll kind of run through this, showing you a few of the screens so you can track serial numbers. So when you receive the item, you actually need to, or will be required to, put a serial number in before you can actually receive it. Next, when you pull it up under the inventory screen, you have an opportunity to add those serial numbers. This is for serial numbers that, let's say you already have 20, like in this case, they have 20 and you activate this to be serialized. Now it's going to put a little caution sign up that says, hey, click on this caution button because we need to get some serial numbers in to match the number that we have on as far as in stock on hand. So it brings up this box and enables you to put serial numbers in at this time. A little different when you receive a PO, it's going to ask you at that time as well to put in your serial numbers. And if you have serialized or if you have barcode serial numbers, you just scan them. It works really well. Now on the selling portion, when you're selling the items, it'll come up with a list of different serial numbers that are available, and you just select from the list and fulfill however many quantity they want. Normally one, but if they wanted 2 or 3, then you would just put in a quantity of 2 or 3, and then it would ask you to provide a serial number for each one of those. On the reporting, there's a couple different reports. Let me back up here. On this screen right here, you'll notice in the pop-up box on the right-hand side, it says View in Excel in History. So View in Excel gives you the view in Excel of all available serial numbers. The history shows you every single piece of equipment and every single serialized item as far as what the event was or state of that item is. For example, is it available? Has it been sold? Is it in process? Is it on hold? It's a great report. So that's that history button that you see there. There's also an overall report that you can run for all of your serial numbers. If somebody wants to just say, hey, I've got 500 serial numbers or serialized products in stock here, and I want to see a listing of every single one, where they are, whether they're sold or available. And you will get that report in Excel, and you can slice it and dice it any way you want. And this is under the inventory reports. If you go to Inventory General, on the right-hand side, you'll see a serial number list report. Next feature, and you've probably seen this, a lot of people ask me, hey, I need to, occasionally when I send in a purchase order and I send it to the company, either via email or EDI or what have you, I need to get in there and change and adjust the quantity and cost. And if you were to just go in there and click on the receive amount and the cost and change it, it's not going to save it. But we did make it where you can change the quantity and cost, and it will save it. You're just required to press the right-click button on the item. So if you press the right-click button, it'll come up and say, like you see here, that little message, update PO, order quantity and cost, and it will save it for you. Next, and everybody's probably already seen this, it's been out there, I just want to remind everybody that it's there and why it's doing it. Order Analyst is a feature that enables you to order for your entire store. So you can go out, you can take the gun or run a suggested order or run a replenishment, historical report, and create a PO. Any one of those ways you can create POs. Now, if you don't specify a supplier when you create the PO, when you go to call up and review that purchase order, it's going to ask you a question. And that question is, do you want to split the current purchase order based on the lower supplier cost? Well, this is a message for part 2 of Order Analyst. What this is saying as part 1 is it will split the purchase orders based on who's ever in supplier position number 1. So if you order for your entire store, every brand, every line, and you want to go ahead and split those up into PO for each individual supplier, it will do it. And you've probably seen this, like I said. So it shows you here when you bring up the item, it splits it out into 2 different POs. And if you look at the list here of available when you recall transactions in the PO, it'll show you the original split working purchase order and then the 2 that resulted from this, supplier A and supplier B. All right. Part 2 will do exactly what this message says, the prior message that says, do you want to split them based on the lower cost? So this is true if you have 2 EDI vendors, meaning you're processing electronic orders and purchase orders and invoices through Paladin with that supplier. And it has to be more than one, it has to be at least two. And when you do that, we'll actually store the market cost of each one of those. And the reason why it's only performs this check on the EDI is because that's the only way we can guarantee that the costs are current. Otherwise, the costs might be outdated. I mean, if you go in and put in your own cost and you wait 2 years, obviously that price is going to be no longer available and current. So we go ahead and update the market cost. All right. Another feature that we have in Invoice and Quote is the right-click search feature. So we continue to add a few items to this. If you've noticed, when you go into the invoice and you right-click on any line item in that invoice, it's going to come up with a list of available functions and features. One is insert line, delete line, insert note. You can read the list here. Profit analyst, footage calculator. We've added square footage calculator recently as well. You can insert subtotals. Do a lot of different things. Update current prices on quotes. Well, we've added one here called, what we're highlighting here is the search feature. So if you've got an invoice, in this case, you can see there's at least 115 items with that watermark that you see under part number. It would be difficult to find things unless you can search by either part number or description, and we give you that capability here with this feature. There's also a new inventory items report. This will let you track the new items that you've added to your inventory recently, and this also is under inventory and general section of the reports. And then, no, it's under inventory and history section, actually, not the general. But here it shows you all the different and new items that were received to your inventory. So that's important to know. A lot of people have been asking for this specific report. You've always been able to do it, but it was just a lot easier now. It's a push of a button, and now it comes up. Bin tags. We're constantly adding new bin tags. We're up to style 38 or maybe even 39 by now. We get requests for custom bin tags all the time. But once we make a custom bin tag, that goes out to everybody so you can all use it. When you go into portal.paladinpos.com or click on our support help knowledge base, if you search for LTSR catalog, it stands for labels, tags, signs, and reports, it will show you a 40-page or more sample of all the different bin tags and shelf tags and item tags and reports and so on that we provide. Take a look at that. All right, now coming soon, the long-awaited checkout device that incorporates a barcode scanner, which is a 2D barcode scanner, a signature capture, and even the EMV-enabled credit card reader. So all of this is on the mobile all-in-one point-of-sale solution. So this device you can run from anywhere in the world, as long as you have you've got connectivity to the internet. And you can sell out of your store. So if you wanted to pack up your truck and drive to the flea market and sell stuff out of your store from there, you can do that simply by bringing this device with you. You can also run out to the parking lot and sell items, run to your local trade shows, or travel multiple states or countries, and you can sell directly out of your store. That product will be on the market here very soon. We're hoping within the month or so, a month of May anyway, is what we're targeting for. Whether it's the beginning or the end of May, I don't know, but stay tuned. We are quickly vetting that product and making sure that it's got all the features that we need. Now, if you're using the current checkout solution using a Samsung or a tablet of some sort, that still works, and you can continue using that. But this just has all the features of being at point of sale with all the devices that you need all rolled into one. So it's a great solution. Also, the next one I have on the screen here is numbered quotes. So we will be numbering quotes if you wish to activate this. There's a lot of folks that have asked to get their quotes numbered so that when they come back in the store, they can find that specific quote. That's great. We've done that. It actually shows up in your invoice on the top line, and it shows up on the top line of your receipt as well, or your quote, I should say. Another thing that we added recently is COD delivery. So if you're doing delivery today and you want to pick up the cash when you get on site, um, today you're going to have to push it in there as a account customer, right? So you got to give them at least $1 credit limit so you can store this and maintain this in the system. And then once you get the money, you just come back and take a receipt on account. This circumvents all that. You don't have to do anything. The COD feature of delivery automatically overrides, if you choose, overrides the credit limit. So if you have a zero credit limit, meaning they're just a customer, they're not a charge account customer, you can do a COD payment for them without jumping through hoops. It's very, very cool. It's very easy to do, and it really streamlines that process. Last not least, the Windows 7 end of life happened in January. There's probably a lot of customers out there that are still using Windows 7 machines. As you can tell, they didn't stop working. It's not the end of the world, but there are security issues with that. Microsoft is not putting updates out anymore for Windows 7, so it just makes it more vulnerable to hackers. So that is something that you should plan on doing this year. Sooner than later would be better. We do sell Windows 10 systems, or you can buy them from your local store. Either way, we'll support you. All right. Finally, any questions? And I don't see any. Normally we get questions that come down. I don't see any questions. I'll continue looking. But just to move forward here, I want to mention that we are having a webinar this Tuesday coming up on March 31st. And this will be looking at all the different ways that you can incorporate Excel into your business operations using Paladin. We have a lot of reports that go to Excel, and there's a lot of other things and inquiries and things that you can push to Excel. You can also get a hold of the database directly from within Excel. So there's lots of really cool things there. If you guys are interested, love to see you there. And then, as always, check out the winter release guide on the help portal. Also, you can check out the Retail Science website, which really gives you a lot of tips on how to increase your business, how to attract more customers, conduct commerce better, and that sort of thing. And then webinars, of course, will be there, and this presentation will be available as well in the future. And yeah, so it looks like I don't have any questions at this time. So if you do have questions, be sure to call. As always, it's been a pleasure. You guys, I just want to do a call out here and you know, just want to tell you God bless everyone, and I hope everyone is praying for those that are suffering because of the coronavirus out there. It is something that you know, was unexpected. It's here, and if it doesn't hit you directly through the virus, it's hitting your economy, and we're all feeling the effects of that. Just want to let you know that Paladin's still here for you. We're 100%. We've got everybody working. Some are quarantined and working out of their homes, but most of the staffing is here to help support you. And yeah, so again, this is for Wallace, the virtual user meeting. It's been a pleasure. I hope to hear you and speak to you guys and see you in the future. Thanks again for attending. Take care.